Hello, good morning. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Asuri Balde. We are back again on another edition of QTV this morning. How are you doing? For us, we are okay. We are trying to, do one or two things to bring you the morning program as usual. And to all our viewers from around the world, especially those that follow this program, the likes of Ibrahima in the U.S. and of course our follower in the Philippines. We're saying hello and good morning to you. And on the platform, we miss Julde. And Julde is here with us. Julde, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ibrahim.
Oh, it's good to have you. It's been a while.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Good morning to you. Good morning to our viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's always good to be back in this platform. I must say, I really miss this place.
Absolutely, we miss you. I mean, for a very long time, Mr. Ade have been pretending to be Julde, here. But Julde, it's only one person.
Yes.
Mr. Ade cannot in any way be Julde.
No way.
He can only be Ade. And in fact, he is trying to be Julde, but he cannot be Julde.
In fact, I heard him using my cliche, that is good morning, wonderful
viewers. He's trying to copy you. Yeah, so how are you? How is it going with classes, Julde?
Alhamdulillah, so far so good, because most of the things that they're teaching us for the first semester are things that are not new to me. I already have an idea as to what it is all about. So, yeah, hopefully it will be an exciting semester.
Absolutely. Yeah, so today we'll be talking about Pink October. It's going to be our first segment on this program. Pink October, also known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, is observed every October to raise awareness about breast cancer, promote education on the early detection and support those affected by the disease. And we have Dr. Charles Roberts from the Edward Francis Small Hospital, who will be taking us through. Doctor, you're welcome on this program.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
It's good to have you here. So, I mean, Doctor, I understand it's not easy to work in a hospital environment. You know, for me, during my school days, I studied science. And, after my high school, I was fortunate to be among the students that got a scholarship to go to Venezuela and study medicine. But at some point, I wasn't fascinated, about the area. So I have to skip and give chance to another student who loved it more than I do. Let's talk about, in general, your area of work. How do you people juggle your days as doctors?
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. So I see you're a runaway doctor.
Yes, kind of.
Yes. Working in a hospital environment is not an easy task, because from the moment you go into the hospital, there are a lot of expectations from you. And it's a teaching hospital, so we have programs that we follow. And sometimes we have meetings, sometimes we have to do ward rounds. But unfortunately, some of the patients don't see that. So if a patient comes to the clinic, comes at 8 or 7, expects to be seen at 8, and starts complaining, the doctors are not here, and this and that. But the doctors are working. They're working, and they're doing other things, helping other patients. And I think it's good for the public to know that. There are some doctors who are actually on call the previous night, so they are still there from the previous day. They've been working, and then they still continue to work in the morning. So at the moment, the doctor-to-patient ratio is still very low. So there will still be a lot of waiting time in the hospitals and clinics. But I think as the university continues to churn out more doctors, and then the postgraduate program also in the hospital also turns out more specialists, then it would improve. But it's not an easy environment to work in.
Wow, okay, all right. Julde?
Yeah. So, Doctor, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Or do you want us to engage him on the code of wisdom, maybe?
Our African code?
Yes, we have a code here.
Why not?
We engage our you know,
Absolutely.
guests all the time, at least to have that understanding.
What is their take
Yes.
on the African proverb?
Yes.
So our African proverb this morning, a man's own mind is the greatest battle he will face. Yeah, a man's own mind is the greatest battle he will face.
A man's own mind.
Well, I've not heard that proverb before, but just listening to it, it seems like a very deep proverb. Because in a man's mind, a lot of things go on.
Sure.
And what they bring out is what eventually they've decided on. But a lot of things happen in the mind. So when you see something, you start thinking, should I do this, should I do that? Nobody sees that. It goes on in the mind. And eventually you have to make a decision and then do something. So I think it's a very deep proverb, and it's something that's worth thinking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
Julde is a
I
very
like community
Julde is a
class.
very good proverb or African quote interpreter, and
Right.
you know, we've missed your
That's
interpretation.
the only thing.
We missed your interpretations here, Julde. Can you please help us?
Okay, a man's own mind is the greatest battle he will faces or he faces. Yeah, I mean, it is said that your mind is your greatest enemy, depending on how you're able to actually fix it to point at a particular direction. If you have it in your mind that, okay, I am incapable of doing something, it is practically impossible for you to get yourself to do that thing. If you have in your mind that I am a conqueror, whatever comes my way, I will conquer it, and whatever comes my way, I will be able to handle it and tackle it. Your mind is the most powerful organ you have in you as a human being. So it depends. It can make you and break you as an individual, depending on what you really put in your mind as an individual. If you feel like, okay, this is something I can do, you will do it no matter what, because you already have it in your mind that this is a decision that I will do, and this is something that I will be able to do. But if you have it in your mind that, okay, maybe I can do this, maybe I cannot do it, that in itself can, you know, deter you from achieving what you're supposed to have. So I think the mind, really, whatever it is, you should always focus. You should be positive, have positive vibes, whatever it is, and know that I can do this. And yeah, eventually you will be able to conquer it. But if you have it in your mind, even though you can do it, but so long as it is in your mind that I cannot do this, you will not be able to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The
very
mind is
true.
a very important component, you know, when it comes to achieving certain things. Your mind needs to be at a very great state of mind for you to be able to proceed or achieve other things. The difference between a sane person and an insane person, or a person you know, who is not mentally stable, it's the mind. You understand?
Exactly.
So the mind is very significant, and developing a very strong state of mind is very significant for any individual.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's important for us to go straight. Doctor, we will not engage you on what is breast cancer. You know, those are things that we've dealt with in the past, and I'm pretty sure most of the people understand what breast cancer is, you know, and you know, what are some of the signs that you can definitely, you know, realize to know, okay, this might be a sign of breast cancer. Can we talk about the differences between breast cancer types and their treatment?
Okay, so breast cancer, like you said, we've talked about what breast cancer is. But what I want to emphasize is that the breast is made up of different tissues. So each of those can be cancerous and form cancer in the breast and become breast cancers. So the most common ones are the lobular cancers and the ductal cancers. So I don't want to go into much detail about those, but the way they present can be slightly different, but generally they all present as a lump in the breast, or sometimes they can present as a nipple discharge, where it can be bloody or just ordinary nipple discharge. Then they can also present with changes on the skin. So that's why we encourage women to always examine themselves, examine their breasts, at least once a month during when they're taking a shower, when there's soap all over, to just examine the breast. Because any changes can be an early sign of breast cancer. But it doesn't mean that if you have some of those changes, that means you have breast cancer. That is something I have to emphasize. Some women, as soon as they feel a lump in the breast, they feel that they have breast cancer, and they start getting depressed and all that. It's good to come to the hospital when you feel something like that, or you notice any change in your breast. You come to the hospital, let some people who are more qualified have a look at it, and then they can do what we call triple assessment. That's the clinical exam, the radiological exam, that's doing ultrasound or mammogram, and then the histological exam, which is taking a biopsy to make a diagnosis. Then the treatment plan can be started. Yeah.
Julia.
So in that case, what type of doctor should I see if I feel like or think that I have breast cancer?
Well, I think the best would be the surgeons, general surgeons. But for screening, I think a lot of the health personnel, we're training health personnel, even nurses, to be able to examine the breast, and then they can be able to feel something that you might not be able to feel yourself. And then they can be referred to, we run a breast clinic on Wednesdays at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. So if you come on Wednesdays, but if you come even Monday or Tuesdays, you can still be seen in the clinic, and then you can be assessed properly by a specialist, by a doctor.
Is that part of the breast cancer awareness month or generally?
No, generally.
Okay.
We used to have it on Thursdays, but now it has changed. We are having the clinic on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So anyone who feels that they have something suspicious or they are worried about anything in the breast, they can come, maybe start with the polyclinic, they get referred to the clinic, and then they will be seen by the surgeons.
What are their treatment options for breast cancer, and at what stage should someone actually get themselves screened?
Well, there are three main modalities of treatment for breast cancer. That's the surgery, then you have the chemotherapy, that's these anti-cancer drugs, and then you have the radiotherapy, that's using some x-rays to treat the cancers. There are variations in what they do for each patient. So each cancer patient, each breast cancer patient is treated as an individual. It's not a generalized treatment plan for all the patients. So there are other tests that can be done to actually specify your own type of breast cancer, so that the treatment can be tailored according to that type of breast cancer. But some of those tests, we don't have them available here. So early breast cancer is actually curable. So that is why we're coming out to tell people to examine yourselves, try and detect any change in the breast. So if we detect that it's breast cancer, then it can be cured. Then you go on with your life. You might lose a breast, but I mean, there are a lot of people walking around with one breast and you wouldn't even know. And I don't think it changes the quality of your life.
Exactly. So what lifestyle change should one adopt, to prevent you from, getting breast cancer? Lifestyle
changes. Obesity is said to be one of the risk factors. Obesity, that's being grossly overweight. So lifestyle changes that encourage weight loss are useful. And it's not only for breast cancers, for a lot of the other cancers. The lifestyle changes are very useful. So exercise, healthy diet, those are, and those who smoke to cut down or stop smoking, those who take alcohol to cut down or stop taking alcohol, all those things help to minimize your risks for breast cancers and other cancers.
So what emotional support do we have for breast cancer patients and their families here? Do we have that in the Gambia?
Well, unfortunately, we haven't developed a system to actually support these breast cancer patients in the Gambia. I think the hospital is working on getting social workers to be able to help with this this condition. And the emotional support is not only for breast cancers patients, but also for a lot of other conditions and other cancers. So I think maybe when the hospital gets more social workers, then we can go into that and be able to help emotionally those who need it.
So globally, a staggering 2.3 million cases are registered for breast cancer. In the Gambia, what are the cases in terms of breast cancer, especially at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital?
Yes, for the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, we've been seeing an increasing number of cases of breast cancer. Just off head, I can remember some statistics, maybe 2013 or so, it was about 40 something. But then the latest statistics that we got from 2022, it went up to about 108. So the numbers are increasing. And unfortunately, we are seeing a lot of young people also with breast cancers. Currently, as I talk to you, there are two middle-aged women on the ward with advanced breast cancers. Unfortunately, we cannot do much for them, but they are there, admitted with advanced breast cancers. Some of them have had some intervention, others have not.
So out of the 108 patients that you have there, at what stages are they normally? Are they most of them are they advanced or they came early?
Most of them, unfortunately, come in an advanced stage. Because, like has been said before, breast cancer unfortunately presents in a very subtle way. A lot of cases just present with a lump, a painless lump in the breast. So if you're just taking a shower and then you feel a lump in the breast, it's not painful. There are no changes on your skin, so you don't feel like it's anything that you would want to go and tell somebody else about, because the breast is considered to be a private organ. So you wouldn't want to go showing other people your breast, saying that I have a lump here. So that's what deters a lot of people from coming early. So then by the time they come, it has already advanced. Sometimes you have this fungating mass that is smelling, infected, and a lot of our patients unfortunately come like that.
So what is their fate now?
Well,
do they stand a chance?
Unfortunately, I mean, what we are doing for them now is what we call palliative care. Palliative care is just to make them more comfortable to the eventual end.
So what do we really need, doctor, in the Gambia, to be able to handle cases of breast cancer, I mean, very well? What do we need? What type of materials do we need? What type of medical equipment do we need?
Very good question. When we have early cases of breast cancer, sometimes we can do what we call breast conserving surgery. What that means is that you're not going to take out the whole breast, but you take out where the cancer is, and then some of the normal surrounding tissue, what looks normal in your eyes, surrounding tissue. Because sometimes you can have what we call micrometastasis. That's micro metastasis of the breast cancer around the breast that you're not seeing with your naked eye. So we take that tissue around it, and then if you do that, you have to do it together with what we call radiotherapy. We don't have radiotherapy here, so we cannot offer that service here. So if we have radiotherapy, then we can be able to save some of these breasts of patients with breast cancer.
Doctor, you're telling me the whole of Edward Francis Small Hospital, we don't have a radiotherapy for this?
The whole of the Gambia.
The whole of the Gambia. How expensive is that machine?
It's quite, I think it's quite expensive, and it takes a lot of collaboration to get that. I know that in the ministry, I think there's a department of that looks after cancer. They are looking into that, and some people have come to do the feasibility studies and all that. So I think in the near future we will have a radiotherapy center here, and that would really help a lot of our patients.
All right, Dr. Charles Roberts, thank you for coming on the program and making time to at least do this segment with us. It's important for us to share with the general public, at least to sensitize them on breast cancer. And
before you go,
okay,
I know that these are rare cases. Men can have breast cancer, but it's very rare.
Yes.
Do we register any male cases here in the Gambia?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
Off the top of my head, I can remember 2 cases this year.
Okay.
Of male breast cancers
cancers
seen at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. So it's not a female. It's more common in the female gender. Say maybe some statistics show that maybe out of 200 women, out of 200 people with breast cancers, maybe 1 or 2 might be men. So it's there. Men are also at risk of breast cancer.
So what are the treatment options for them? Is it the same as?
It's basically the same.
The same.
But unfortunately, because men don't have big breasts, so it tends to be more aggressive because it affects the chest wall earlier in men than in women.
Unfortunately. Yeah, so thank you, doctor, for coming, and we hope to engage you in the future. You know. Maybe
one last thing I might say is that the hospital will be doing a breast cancer screening at the end of this month, the last weekend of this month. So, I mean, I'm inviting people to come, women especially, but men can also come and be screened. If you're a man, you feel there's something abnormal in your breast, come and you'll be screened. And we're hoping to be a one-stop shop. If you need to have a biopsy, you can have a biopsy. If you need an ultrasound scan, you'll have it done. If you need a mammogram, you can have it done, because the mammogram is functional in the hospital now. So we hope that it will be a one-stop shop for breast cancer screening. Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, then we'll do the newspaper review with Mr. Ade Drame. So we'll be right back.
Introducing the all-new Q Mobile. Rediscover the essence of mobile communication with a device that brings you back to basics: quality, simplicity, and reliability. The Q Mobile is designed to fit seamlessly into your life, offering essential features without the fuss. 72-hour battery life, keeping you connected longer. Listen to news, prayers, or your favorite shows with the FM radio on Q Phone. A built-in torchlight, always ready when you need it, memory card slot for expandable storage, and dual SIM capability for flexibility and convenience. Why wait? Step into any of our care centers today and get your hands on the most affordable phone for just $600. Plus, enjoy a bonus package of 300 minutes talk time and 300 SMS spread over 3 months. Absolutely free. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Atenong, oro mobile amen keso pura andere Q mobile no yade jamano tenon kadi no webi na fitora golmo tenon mo jogi piji bui battery on ko balde tati FM radio lampu memory card storage ko sim card ɗiɗi o ƴettata ɓura andirede dual sim dogu joni yaha ka customer care center ji amen soda oɗon mobile temeɗɗe jeego rek te a heɓay temed tati minitaji ɗi anduɗa a wowlay te non a heɓay kadi ko ɓura andirede temed tati sms te a yoɓata hay hunde ɓe sendanama ɗum e nder lebbi tati si tawiɗa faala hen ko laaɓi noddu qcell customer care e 111 qcell suñu boss minen udditi laawol ngol si woɓɓe jokki ɗum no yaadi e sartaji.
Thank you very much. We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Asuri Balde, and today we have our own Julden Jai with us in the studios. Mr. Ade Drame is the guy who's going to do the newspaper review. Mr. Ade, how are you?
I'm well. And just very quickly, you know, Julia was saying about me kind of stealing her
identity
cliche,
and her words.
Her cliche.
Yes.
I didn't want the viewers to feel, you know, that we'd forgotten them, our wonderful viewers, our beautiful viewers. So, you know, I thought, well, even though Julia's not here, let me at least borrow her words until she comes back, and she can take them back.
Exactly, and definitely it worked. You were able to at least keep her words for her, right?
Keep them alive.
Yeah, so Mr. Ade Drame, we'll be looking at some of the papers, and I'm pretty sure Julde got the papers. Julde got the power.
She's got the papers.
She got the power.
So I have
and so
the
which one are you gonna? I was gonna go to Standard. Please go with it.
Okay. Pro-Palestine Gambian student threatened with deportation from U.S. speaks out.
Yeah. So just even without knowing the story, there have been lots of protests in American universities in support of Palestine because of the sort of escalation that's taken place a year ago yesterday, since after the Hamas attack at the music festival. It's kind of taken this war, which realistically has been going on for about 100 years, if the kind of disputed, going back to the First World War and beyond. And so students have been coming out, and there's been a kind of backlash. If you are an American, they can't threaten you with deportation because, of course, you're an American. But if you're a foreign student, they can threaten you with that. And so it's ironic that in a country that allegedly prides itself in free speech,
world democracy.
Freedom of speech,
your free speech can be free until they don't like what you say.
Rights.
So it's but they don't even see the irony of it. So you can't see a situation where you're kind of saying you profess that this is the country of free speech, we don't stifle people, and then you do stifle people. So I presume that is what has led to this threat, and it'll be interesting to see, because of course he has to fight it, because if he doesn't, there'll be others who will be similarly targeted. So yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yes. It's I did a short piece yesterday, and I was kind of saying that, when I was editing it, I was looking at it, our colleague Aliou Cisse worked on it, and at the end of it he was saying that nobody seems to be making great efforts to bring peace to the region. I'm doing a piece today where I might mention the fact that France has said they won't sell weapons to Israel, which has upset Netanyahu, because he's saying that you're not selling weapons to us, but Iran will still send weapons to Hamas and Hezbollah. How is that fair? But I think it's an unfair fight anyway, because as well as Israel, these people are also fighting the United States of America and Britain, who have sent troops to support Israel. So it's not an even battle anyway.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, the peace deal that they're talking about, that won't be realized if all of them are really supporting both sides with weapons and all of that. It won't be realized. That is why yesterday when I was watching France 24, their debate on the first year anniversary of the attacks, one of them mentioned the fact that the international community itself, it's the US. They are the main problem with this whole thing, because they are the people who are actually fueling this whole crisis between Hamas and the Israeli people. So, I mean, people ought to see them to actually act upon these things, not just to make statements, big statements, condemning stuff. I know that helps a lot, but again, people are losing their lives. Innocent women, innocent children are losing their lives on a daily basis.
42,000 people.
So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a
We're
lot.
talking about a small country.
42,000
is a lot, and about 96,000 injured.
That's in how many days?
In the year.
In 1 year, yeah.
And then about 2.3 million displaced. So we're talking big figures, because the area of land we're talking about is very small. But it's that this war is ebbed and flowed in my lifetime. 1967, 1973. There've been all these conflagrations, all these outbursts where it gets intense again, it gets serious again. When in 1967 and 1973 we thought that was as bad as it can get, but I suspect this one is worse. Or it looks like it's going to get worse.
Those are war zone areas. They are prone to those things. I mean, at some point,
because it's disputed land.
When you mention their names, the mental picture that you tend to have is war, fighting, bombing, and missiles.
Absolutely.
Government offices urge evacuation for Gambians living in Lebanon.
Yeah, I mean, this has come up before, because Senegal had offered to take its citizens out about 2 weeks ago, and there'd been a debate about whether the Gambian government was going to do the same. and it sounds and looks like looks as if they are going to do the same for those that want to get out, because nowhere is safe in Lebanon right now. Every day you hear the Israelis telling people, if you live in this area, move out. And because they've got the technology, they're sending the messages to people's phones to alert them. But of course, after what happened with the exploding devices, people are scared of opening messages from numbers they don't know. So it's, you know, so some people are moving and some are not. And some are just determined that the last time there'd been a kind of mass evacuation from various places, the Israelis moved in and have never left. So people are scared of that as well. There've been many occasions when, you know, they've kind of forced people off the land and taken over that land. So there's that fear as well. So for the Gambians who are there, some of them have asked to be repatriated. Some have not. And one of the ironic things is that there are hundreds of thousands of Syrians who, of course, they're next door to Lebanon, who had escaped the war in their own country, which has raged for over 10 years now. And some of them are going back to Syria, even though that war is still on.
Ironic, yeah.
So it's quite ironic that, because the intensity is not as severe in terms of the bombing and so on. I mean, the piece that Aliu did, if anybody watched it last night, you saw some of the bombing and some of the destruction. Whole towns and cities have been almost leveled to the ground with the bombings. So yeah, it's an intense one. But yeah, it's sad because, as I said, I grew up with that conflict, and if I live to be 150, I'll probably die with that conflict unresolved. Sad to say. It's just, you know, I don't see an end to it. This is just the latest and worst of what has happened in the last 50 or 60 years.
Another story saying Gambia evacuates, okay, citizens from Lebanon.
We're talking about the same thing, so
So,
the one story might be slightly behind the other.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Government gives $12 million to GFF for senior Scorpions October matches.
Yeah,
Madagascar.
we've got 2 games against Madagascar, cracking games to come, a double header on the 11th and the 14th. It's a must-win for both countries because both countries are on a single point in that group, and so they want to get off the kind of bottom of the table. And I think, you know, it's going to be quite intense. The game is going to be played in Morocco, which is Gambia's new home from home, because our own stadium is still not fit to host international matches.
Fit for purpose.
It's not. No, it's not.
What happened? I mean, Mr. Adia, come on. They can tell us our stadium is not fit. After all the renovation, after putting that scoreboard and, you know, painting our Gambian flag on our seats, I mean.
They gave them a list of things that needed to be done. Not everything on that list has been done. It's as simple as that.
We even have what we call, is it the cone, where the players will, I mean, the door they used to, I mean.
Because
how do we call
amongst the other things that we have to do, you have to have a media area that's suitable for international media. So all of those things have to be in place now before they will open it. But having said that, I mean, I've seen some matches played on some of the pitches that have been sanctioned as fit, and they look rubbish in other countries. So I don't know how they managed to get approval to play matches on those pitches. Really quite dreadful. And yet ours is still out of commission. I think the rumor, or not the rumor, I mean the minister had said he hoped that by November it'll be up and running. So we're, you know, less than a month away. We hope it'll be fit for purpose.
Mr. Hari, why not we try and get a new stadium, a new stadia? That would be lovely. Maybe we build one around Fonyi Bintang.
You're promoting this last day.
No, a new stadium could be
someone from North Bank is saying we already have the university in Fonyi. So let's go to North Bank. We can build the university, the stadium in Kirmama or Fas Chaho.
So let me ask you, how many countries around the world do you know where their national stadium is not in their capital? Almost none. Almost none. Every country that you can think of that is worthy of being called a country. If they have a national stadium, it will be in
You
the
see,
capital.
that's the mentality.
Because no,
That's
it's
the
because of
mentality
transport
you
links.
people had in the past. That's why we are still suffering.
No, because the reason is
You people, you think it shouldn't be decentralized. It
No,
should
no.
just be focused
No,
on the capital.
they can decentralize if they
Yes,
want,
if
but
they
you have
are-
to build the transport links, international transport links.
Yes,
if you
but
have a
for-
stadium,
Fonyi,
is there an
Fonyi.
airport there?
there is no airport, but the airport is closer to Fonyi, you know.
Listen,
We are in Yundum.
if of course, if you have to have a stadium that's fit for international matches, it also means that if you have international visitors, they have to come in and get to the stadium in fairly quick time, not spend 2 hours, 3 hours getting to the stadium. So there are all those considerations. The country, nobody minds decentralization, but you have to have the transport links that support that. That's
I
all
was
it is.
thinking you are also the people that just believe in the urban area.
No. I mean, if you have
Urban
if you have
mentality.
good links, then it's not a problem. But we don't. We don't. And,
All
and,
right.
and we don't have an airport outside of the one in Yundum.
Yundum.
Yes. Which,
Oh,
which
unfortunately.
I'm writing an article about. So
Unfortunately.
it's a very important airport historically, believe it or not. But yeah. Yeah. So what else? Do we
Julia,
have?
any other thing?
We still have
Central Bank governor
stunt-
given
yes.
evidence in camera.
Yes.
He's testifying about in the petroleum saga.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of newspapers have that one. The Point has it on the front, and so does Foroya.
Mm.
In case anybody's wondering about in camera, it's not in front of camera.
Mm.
It's from the Latin camera, meaning room.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's in a room behind closed doors,
Mm.
and no press, no media. And it makes you wonder why. Maybe there are commercial in confidence and sensitive documents. Who knows?
Documents.
But people will be asking the question, and this is why you journalists who can make access to information requests, now's your chance. Make those requests
Request.
and see what the reason or excuse is for not
They will
being
give
provided
for,
with.
yeah.
They have to be valid reasons for not providing such evidence. So yeah, so that's one. But this saga seems to be going on, and the case is the inquiry is never ending. It seems the petroleum saga.
Yesterday, the UDP party leader landed at the Banjul International Airport. A rousing welcome from the UDP militants.
That explains it.
They changed the whole country yellow.
Yellow, because
One thing I like the UDP for, I love their cooperation. I love the sense of humor they have. I love that unity they have. You understand? You can talk about the UDP, but you cannot extract unity among them. They love what they do, and they are very consistent people. That I love about the yellow people.
Yeah, the vibe was good yesterday, because when I left the office at 10:10, their leader, of course, lives on our very street on Kairaba Avenue. So now you've told me why there were thousands of people blocking
Blocking.
Baba
in a
was
good
coming
human
back
way.
home.
In a
From the
good
US.
in a good humored way,
Yes,
I have
so-
to say, because they were in buoyant mood and they were singing.
And everything
dancing,
was
etc.
done in discipline.
And so
everything was organized.
I took a route that I would normally not take, just to avoid the traffic. There was quite a jam around his house, which is just almost opposite the American Embassy on Kairaba Avenue. So there was a huge crowd there, and I could see from there that wasn't where I needed to be headed, because I wanted to hit the Bertel Harding Highway. Normally I go down to traffic light, where there's no longer a traffic light, and I take that route, but that was blocked. But as I said, they were singing, chanting, dancing, and the vibes were good.
Absolutely,
The vibes were good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thumbs up to the UDP party. Keep it like that. Let's maintain peace. Let's politic professionally and maturely. Yeah, so Mr. Ade, thank you very much.
Oh, we're taking a leave
Yes,
of
we
Mr.
will
Ade
eject
already.
Mr. Ade
I'm
quickly
refusing to leave.
because it's World Animal Day. And
On Saturday.
our big man Lang Baba Sise is on the queue waiting.
So, well, I've kept the seat warm for him,
Yeah,
so,
so
he
we'll
can
be
come
engaging
and
him.
occupy.
On the program. So what we'll do, Julde, we'll take a short break. After the break, then we'll continue with the conversation. We'll be back.
Cool.
Smart and Q Smart Plus na falie hade natal seniaringol set aka wallata akata bake yenyin soto kat ko mobile tariyarim ba andum foka pare ala batterio beta ala wati janda aka ji Q Smart ya 5.9 immersive display la soto nyindu mu dalasi wuli sabanin kemenani da malati ni mobile o nyin sang iba bondulo soto la min tata for 15 GB andung kemeni muang free talk time fanam betara yele warning keme saba SMSO foka pare nyimbe mu free lati ni mobile o nyin sang walante fana ni lafta Q Smart Plus la wo fanam bijele ice screen warban bala soto minketa 6.5 inches de anin dalasi wuli nani damma isa nyi mobile o soto no andu foka pare afana nim bundle package ole nata iba 30 GB data soto la yekeme saba SMSO soto ani yekeme ni muang talk time soto nyimbe dum hani feng ita jola kana tu koma ila Q Smart ni ila Q Smart Plus soto B kabo Q Cell isa nyi mobile o soto no B na customer care build o mimba nyi banko kan momo lafta kuma ko yo moy la nyinto isa na customer care bunjulola ni 111 Q Cell suñu boss dole silo wala dole abula numa nyindum ani sartole nata
It's happy time. Get 50% off all calls to any network. Enjoy calls every day to any network from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Is it too good to be true? QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Thank you very much. We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. And I am Ibrahim Asuri Balde. On the platform, I'm with Julde Njai. Julde, let's move to a very interesting segment. Every year, we dedicate this segment to these people.
Yes.
That's Lang Baba Sise. He's here for the World Animal Day and World Rabies Day as well. It's important for us to talk about animals because we are living side by side with the animals.
Exactly.
At some point, this is their habitat as well. So it's important for us to understand their feelings, what they need, how to take care of them. It's important for us to be just to this animal and to help us, you know, take us through this. Lang Baba, as he said, the General Manager Horse and
Gambia
Donkey
Horse, yeah.
Trust is here. Lang Baba mbe konton na baki abe nyadi.
Alhamdulillah mbe jola.
Yo.
Balde bana.
Mune balla je.
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Kayro dum.
Jule ila mo fele.
Namo.
Foi dala mo tende.
Ila mo fele. Non tela ke bale mu. Tela ke bale mu.
Ke dabe Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust.
E kumu fanga bigele fanga.
Yo. Dol be nyan yalla mune kala. Dol be nyan tatar la jele.
Al be bigele.
Wol nyan takan kadol fan soto le ka tan tol. We are animal rights advocates.
Gambia bele da bigele. Fone mi da bon bigele. I have a reason for that.
Sa mbe bismillah la mafole abaraka ye na menkeja nati inata jang take us through the importance of the day. We know that October 4th every year is dedicated to World Animal Day to raise awareness on the welfare and the promotion of animals in this country. At all ya jura nung jura roku maya tabake ngamol jele menkata je tata nunje and animalol jele on the environment yet ali animalol take care in the environment no.
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Julde langi nan karo nyin beteyata kumayata fanan. Ne yage ngi lunyen ka jura lunna matmi ya lonko lunkuma balam dunya kono. Cause bi dunya ite fan soto no la foi balu beto soto. Ite nyato ta soto no la foi balu beto soto. Adu balu beto aka soto mento na kala mutandroto wala musenoti. Nunto molka seno ke no ibulol lela yirwa natake sa be yangal da dun tage molka seno ke be yangal lela yo ka mol hakilo bulandi wo be yangal men ka seno ke ka balu beto soto ke mol hakilo bulandi ila kuma yala ka itande ko ifanal mu fennati ni kan nafa nyolale inatake fennati mumune feŋol le mu ibuka diyamu no so ilaw diyamu baliya isa ñim makele ibe derin isa jaw make ibe derin so ka mol hakilo bulande ko ifanal mu felleti miliyalon ko be contribute kanne yirwa ñento na balwo kono
ete a je nyaade ne Gambia lodula menti jang Gambia especially nanata beyangola fannala lodula be nyaade ne surtout Mansakunda la lodula
ya Mansakunda la lodula mbe demande fono la ge because telling Department of Livestock kata Ministry of Agriculture ni bulobe nyokonole bare ni ajube nasol sotota ko konole cause nin tonya na don fo ngaw fo nyoy nasol sotota gele badu buka bay balu fanan kono wayati na Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust na ta ibulo dum koto ke kanyo sembentu ya cause nin ko kanyo sembentu ya nin te lafta na kaytol fem topotola lafta be bagasol kila nang e kalonye gele kamma koy kaje ko woyeke bari a dépenso mum woni fengolu be ho san donki le kake ka jube ka sembentu yaro ke be yang la fanala abe yirwano la nyami because ni ajube ni lafta ka fuare ya bay ita bay no la konko bela yaage so wayati na konko bayrang mu juma leti milka senoke wala falolti lotela bundala ke sembentu ya baki adu ñin dépense wala mum min beka kiten alala demaroto aka bo hosan don kila jufola kono bari nim bakela nim Mansakunda ka sile ka itandila ko lafta ka kitenne lafta ka saitenne sina ya marodi nako alaki bari ntelekake
wulungo kabrin tata makasuto nga beyan jamal lejeje wulol bije falol aning beyan kotengol sawo beyangol ikamune nyini wo dulato fo alkesan ne bam fo moleke natije
okay o fana munyinen kar kuma balati wo beyangol min fanal ka targe ndel buga beyangol sanne natigi ngamune ken ka beyangol lege miliya lonko ibe batari ngenatigi ka jaralo dila jaral kendo ni jaralo soto ngemurundi mariolum bar dol fanal bigge wol ka ritale ke fonyo doku wala waka keno nyaadire e ka modo lige e ka doku ke la beyan la fueta fue lanjuro soto wara e koto ye fil silo kan ibe yayla silo kan ibe jamal ka accident no nyin kos so ningo sifalge nka kataba kele ngeta ngesamba nga nge maram fambulu ka domorol dila fo janni ala bela wato sindela
so beyan sifa nyaade ne falka beyango bele teke
intel ka beyango bele teke kos mbe da feŋolu bee le kunna feŋ feŋ ye a loŋ ko mumune feŋo la i buka diyaamu no mba bee le kunna yo i ye a fo la kumoo kono fanaŋ ko World Rabies Day World Rabies Day keta lunneti miŋ ye a loŋ ko a ka celebrate duniyaa bee kono aduŋ Gambia fanaŋ ka kele kuraŋ nemu rabies ti miŋ ye a loŋ ko a ka faaroo le ke aduŋ a la faaroo ñiŋ a jawuyaata baake bari janna be faaroo ke la a ka soto ñaadii le a ka soto wuloo le bala i ka fa ye wulu ñaamaato yaagi a manke wulu wo wulu a bala de na ye wulo ma ndele ka fa ne wulu ñaamato a ye tara a ñaaman ma kuran keso ñing virus ñing wala duntala bari virus ñing fana kuran keso ñing abuka dudno ni a ye tara a man ma bara mola ni wulu ñaamato ñi ye fen king ala dajiyo ñing kono kuran keso ñing be wala ta duntela yellow system o kono aka selele abuka dokuwo ke no balo kono aka dokuwo ke kumle kono aka ke kun kono nyami na seleta kuran ke so nyin kata la fo kun ken kono ay na janjang ay kun ken betinya na ya betinya den tel ka fo wole wulu nyama to ake bori abe fenulu kinna aba fan kinna hani doko na age larin asakin yagi so wole ya nan ka fo wulu nyama to adun atela kuran la jawya mi ya warandi aman bor soto duniya kono ay tankar wala soto mi ya lon jannabe mala penko do bi gen kanyim penko le minke isi wala keno na bala na e femfenking ita soto nola banni manyim penko ta fa e king fo kura ngin nata suute bala fere bu katar woto saya dronnam biko duniya ma aboro soto yagi so saya dam man katar wo kunna tola wala tinna ningin lung sita nka findi nka penkuroke bar lungu fana na soto nyi dalilo mi ya sabu scientist o dolamu abe France wole ye bori folo nyinin nyin penkola prumi yati nako tanko si keno because a manjara lang sot ay tankar lang la sot o tankar lang boro wole a findindi wala o findindo ka wonata fa wala birthday ala amam fa sorry ala birthday then inata bendi wolung fe ni wolung ngin sita e ka jura aka nga penkurol ke bang dunia mo me be kono ne ya jube wo penkuro mi ya longa aka ke dunia kono Gambia nata tarde ba soto kono because akuwo nyin aman nyaka so le ketala amanna ke
sanju male fango Gambia ya dati kake ngama Gambia host and donkey trustly fulo ya dati ja
ya aka kele numbara man sembo soto barala sembo soto alata kola keta Gambia host and donkey leti ko sawosa nasita ndel ka borol sanne ninga borol sang nin Department of Livestock ngambulo di nyola ka kape nyoke banko be kan ka wulol ngim penku abelari wala nyama julde
saying niko ulo nyinke pengu mol ya lon ne jam wulol mol ke jele jama e ka tarefa en doron silokan mo buke topoto e buka mario soto e kata so o kata ka ku balti because wose mo kinno la se kurango nyin sotole sa in terms of wulol fana memo yalon ko imam mario soto atolla role mo muneti je
e ka street dogs aka happen ne because kilo ba kan watita metafa karamuto dol attack le because wal kata school to then wulu sifal mi yalon ko imam mario soto katari dinkiral to watita mbeta nga campaign nyin datile nga dati banjul because wulol kasia poro ma fanna anen dinkira ko to katar do mo rol ngin noma nga ferol soto wol fanal because nga baga jorangal soto le mi yalon ko akaw wulu sifalu mutano ni lafta fanan boro do fanan bige ni ake subo bala ya fay wulo e na domo aka sirale ay ketu deni samuta ye penko nyin diala ya bula ate fenkelala nata jorangal fanal soto mi yalon ko e ka wulo ngin mutano le ni e muta nge penku den ngebula yo nata fere do fana wulindi kama kote ke wala ngenti ke konol fa anin ke castrate nka wol be ke pour ila population no nyin asitala no nyame yo science den nata fero landi lafta KMC ning meyo be kachala anin West Coast na jube ni la kansulolu anila do kulal million ko be duma kambul VDC nol kambulol di nyola ka jube si campaign wulindi no nyaadile wulol million ko mari tela be fere juma le landi la pour que mutano ka nyim penkol nyin ka dila ko ferol nyim belari
wati sotota nkaje nun banjul silo kan ibe wulol mutakan e katra doko jangole katra e bulo ka ke wulol kan ke muta ke fenke
nati momolo
ngawol jelen
abaraka exactly ndara dentim brick fanan ngake dentim brick fanan ne nga wulu jamal mutage miliyalon ko ikatar ngi mankol kono teng ngawol fanalu muta nga penko dila bara penko ngi miya kuma nda yanda kala sawo sadnati ko sangi kilin saje kilin penko ngi ka walake walatina ngi telefonal wakilita sawo sankake yo ni wona da boge fanan ka kya fulale be dundi nyoto wol rabies day wol animals day fanan nata onda nata fahamu fanan na polisolu ibe mako e kange baki because wati ngatu report ol soto la polisolu bulu dol ke la be ngalta e ke itilimbali ya nyami ke maltreat nyami so nim polisolu yoge sai e kam bonda kalama nata je ko sai molbe fahamu ro ke kan be yang fana la fana julde ni ajube bake dolbe nyim banko ke la sinkiro be lonin be yang la dol bige cordal sang be yang le yan yake konya yake be yang kamur ko dege ka taxi ki so nim feng be ma ko ila ifana nyanta ma ko ila yake al be si be maro soto no ay ta nyama baraka be yang muta mumune feng ka tilimbaliya komin kayita ni ko abuka diamu no le hakole ben natema hana dino fa ya fola ko maralla be ala be konti bola ila maral fen la le muta nyame adingil munna maral fen leti oton sakata bake nga lollo dula bari be yang lu itele be lori lo dula akuyate ta fola aman kuye ta fono la so ndelle nyanda bala fata la kayita ndi walla bari wo be man sakunda nyantan sebentu yala ge baki fana cause what be yang lo katili mbalia abe na Gambia la constitution o kono le ameta wotumo ni samba kitiyoto wotumo kodo man sembo soto loi be laare nyami wo tembo ni be alamano dimindim dal si lulom $5 bari wotumo $5 o bi ani $1,000 wala be kanya
agamunda ko sign na hani sign na loi kotol wala be tamakan hani sign
ha bari nyato ta do nata soto ge be da min sign dipitole simfa nya baleta afanna la ka jube wo loi kotolu jama bige ye falin surtout be yang la fanala wati tambita fan dipitole en commande len tata député bumuto ne kaki soto kana kaki fanna jamala jikita nyinna ko ate mela wo loi ngimbe findila na findida tumando sembo do fada beddila be yang la fanala habelari wala nya
absolutely
so all rabies de nying ale vaccination o kale birkama aning fanna do la banko kanjang for because nga jele ko komin ko bolon kono wol wala sula tanyina bake because wol tumando e buka mario fan soto wulol men bije buka mario sore katole tamala le doron saying in terms of vaccination o nying fal yo fana include yele ba surtout mol men be bolon kon
ñinen karo yin kuma bata ngake bolon kono le because ngake North Bank ngaki gele LRR ngaki gele CRR ngaki gele URR fanan amamme nga boro fanan supply di wol fanalla wol fanalu ba kala geñi wati ngol fanalla supply bondi la ngadi la regional director la pour e fanal simama wo fanala kantu hosan donki damante murumuru nola banko be kan comme nga fale nyami ni masakunda bulobe nyokono DLS Department of Livestock wol fanalu ila molbe dawda yebe informele pour kay da kafum fi ngin programme ngin tamande no wayati nantel mamfuta no damin nka boro le kiyege idila staff wolu ye mamma wo fannala wo bekere
sai iko bori ko nyin ya funun ko mantole ko boro ka sota koleyata bakele kantu e mantara ka de da Gambia jan sa tol ka boro soto nyaade ne ani kodo nyim fanan ka bo munto ya fole komin ko alni man sakunda be do ko ke kanne bari nana ta dépense la karola atole ka dépense
ha boro nyin na fanala ntelle ka sang akodo nyin ka bonna kufola kono na jifo hosan donki la jifola kono yo boro fanan nka soto dami wolta kita Senegal ti nka boro san Senegal le nga samanan nga tamandi boro nka soto wala jama adu nga depanso fanan aka bonte la jifo kono bar kamma koy no ka atamandi anyama mansakunda ka logele pour ka jeko nga tamandi anyanda kala nyame
iyo nying rabies dum on laftalo na fo wulol dam maleka di bang
wulolu dam mambuka soto yage ning wulo muta ay Falo King ay Sagio King ay Nenso King ay Adamadun King abele ka soto adu naya soto na tamanserol bigele mili alonko e ka itande ko rebis lebe ngin na barga no tamanserol ngin kasi rebis ning abe wulola ay Fenfen King ganni ba fola ebe futa la lopitano to because mansakunda la lopitano to jama ye borol soto gele ka fumi anti rabies ye sotole bari ni be jam faring lopitano la adum wulota ta ila moking ni adar adama dingulam ibe mu nekela folo ibe giole tala ya flos kendeke ani sembola ya ku fo sinya jama ba
kindiro keta dami
because amanke naye kindron aka selela ita kumut do biga sita tili lulu tili woro 1 week 2 weeks 3 weeks janna be selela yo janni be fudala lopitano to pour ka anti rabies nyinta isa flos kendeke ya ku ay senea de nieta lopitano to
gi ken songo
ha gi ken sengala isa kuno hanisa funo isa kuno ala ay senea ni fura yeta lopitano to ni fura lopitano to itara docteur oli ko wulole enki mbar wulu nyama to lam e kana danko wulole enkinde because ite alon ko wulu nyama to lam adu akura ngen ka soto etelela e kana fa ro wulole enki nga fa wulole enki mbar wulu nyama to lam ni o fo docteur o drong ate balo na anyanta minkela wala ngindi the first step ibe minkela ya anti rabies nyindi la yagi so kurang yin na ka be selela waka control dole bo na tata ima woke ma penko nyinta fata ra seleta anata foy tongo foy kunguto na futa da kunguto don asute te bala ko nyin rabies lam nyindi ibukata mitil tan
ikafa
borita ala dunia kon
bari yalon fa nata amari fan nata no aya mutale dron amari fata bari amari akatra batala annum fana aka manyal tandi me yalo ko manya jawbal
ya mina gele abaraka ba kele nginen karo ya mere manke veterinary doctor
ngajel
lagi karo yin kuma ya bata ni hada madinglamu e kaje aka wulu manyake yage aka manyalike aka kuma aka wulu manyalike image manya min ala balwo ko ne kaje abe wolle ke kan otum wole be kana sobi ko rebis lam ngindi adu niaja yo manyal dati dron alama ala jam fambela imari nyanta munekela ila mol wala weta kasanke o ngene
Allah
kan bete balu
ndeysaan
di mo asute te bala dron ite be falal dunia ma boro soto ya tankarang le soto bari ma boro soto nga sifa doge siara sato me ka fa e jahali wulu nyama to le wulu falo king falo nyinta da fana rebi soto fa fi ndita bala aka fambalo king aka kuntu na e damin to muta king aya kuntu na e moligi hani dokol belari nduma ka dokol king labanta munekela wala nga kidoleta nga bung bera boyta na da dinko wuri ge fanto ngani ngalaw yelo ni wo dokol mi
be
sare ngi yagi nindunga e saji yole fanan king ikaje da asute ta bala ikaje bala tiyol kalo ne giyo di ala baka so emenna aka bori giyola ikaje aka fa be kindiro kala ka manyalke di mo sute ta dron fereti ge fasaya fa
bari tumando nkajele ko dol ning ila beyongo sasa taten ika fole okay matu nga fa dorong ay tabi janna be fala jang ngumol ko je bakele comme ni la beyango ya sute comme ko nyin ay sasa ndine soto dorong ika fo matu nga fa janna be fala fangoy
ya o fananka kenole walatina beyangal ka fa dinkral minto department of livestock ye staffol janjandi banko karo mo bela nin ye kadu ka yamaro fanankele nin momo yela beyan fa ani l'hôpital to fanan tankaro bunda mol katargele ni ila beyan fa jannal ba subo domola jaretale aliye jata kende abunda mol kumandi ye beyan nyinta ya subo nyin jube
jolal bu ko kede jolal woni ya sute dero be nga nyin sa da
bar fulol fanal ka do jube ani kelaw yaade so wayatin na wol fanal la do ko ka walati ka subol nyin ta ke jube because nena ngaji ye nin so do fa bodo velo nata ya jube ako nyin subote do monola mol ka ko bari nyin ay asubobe wulerinne yelo fela bala akoy hani ngamin sute ya bala nin aliya domo abe mantoro le natina inata muneke ye dinko le sing ye subo nyim be sarengi akeda dole ni kuyati because fahamuro le nata manki afannale tel ka subo le jube bari membe subo bala si min mantoro min ke no molula
ka subo faransare subu sare mandiya ko yenni so mumeta ya sare bango ko lambaba wo mandiya
roni la jata ke
lambaba subo ye do mo nga o kacha nyato
so akanta ko jenni mbita ninge la kuma kango moy bake wolen ko comme ni la sadio rebi soto wala ila dafengo ya soto na yema wala tumando na ye ki fananka soto
bari ka foko naye ma damman wo bukate na ya soto de hanni na susata nyola ale femfenke dimo aya muta fa asute ta bala naye king aye idaminto king ay ge barama ala dagyo nyin kono slang nyin kono
aborte yelo kono aborta yelo tede ni yator yelo lom donni naye kinda be fara gen to yelo akaborle yaagi so na dunta dron kuranke so nyim fananka tama wala nyama yagi bara manke komi ina susa nyola kindiro le kake bara mole kake
ala dagio nyin kono kuran keso nyi na dum balo nyin kono kata
bari lambaba rabies injection da kole atande
yo rabies injection no
bari ngalo ne Kanifing hospital ikadile free of charge
no an sakunda l'hôpital no be dawo da na be sotorin dami ne atra biji free lam bari na man soto ni tata private clinical waranto dum itata pharmacie to penko kilingo killing dalasi wuli saba dalasi kemelulu adadima
no in fact there was sabaleta nenenga mo samba wulole ya king ngadindi ngonyinta nga samba nte ko okay malom fo nyama tolem famanke nyama tole bari mba samba lom pour ay safe nga samba private clinic injection o nyin dose o nyin ye mindi na ko 15,000
yeah because sabalem iganta sabaleta adu kilo kilin dol ka wafi 3,500 dol ka wafi 5,000 so ni be sabaleta la 5,000 sababu jelde
15,000 birin tata Kanifing hospital luckily ko nyoko ita lokitale nga doso soto janne ando ngata
wakake free len so man sakunda l'hôpital no be dawoda wakake free len
so 15,000 do ngawbula nappo soko
yo ibagela
ali aussi c'est wa fa la nya sa nyinga lafto ko do la jabe
momi mboko de sifalu sako dum fulol ko do ka di bagela de so momi mboko del sifalu ni inata o sasa sifa ngin soto warang wulu nyama to na tela mo king e ma ko do soto no mona bekela mona bekela be fala wole atinna nyim penkuro nyim kuma ya
abarka
adum penkuro nyim fanan konon kana kole yal fanal soto ge ma
abarka
kole
yal munen
asane ngalon ko yara fante nadinin taymo monene entela wulo faale wulo nyi nyamata sukono bare aka ba fala kai ko eta fala after nata wulo nyim fa
wala mal bela tan
yo lamba
nada kole al fanal soto gele de tay mo badda
kuigle abantale fereng
no kole ya dol fanal soto nyim penkuro ka ke frile bari mol pour que la wulo fanal nati akana ke kole alati oton be jama be danila ni nyim penkuro be kering sa wosang yela wulo ngin nati nge penku oton be tenturo ne ngayro dila na director bala min keta heda amstronti anen gambe hosan don ki trust anen DLS bebe konton na be tentula be
ala barka thank you very much Lambaba Cissé molla boss lemu foka pare abe do ko nyima bale ke kam fo modol cetarano dron ye area do cover mole banko ka tama wala nyama
bare na QTB fanan nin ki radio konton de because ni again na information ka jajja
to nyalemu to ala barka so we'll take a short break. After the break, then we'll talk about the National Journalism Awards. We'll be right back.
The fastest growing network in the Gambia now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Get a QCell SIM card for free. Yes, absolutely free. Walk into any of our customer care centers and get a SIM free of charge. With a QCell SIM card, you can get the fastest and the most reliable internet plus wide range of amazing services. So rush now to any of our care centers and get a free SIM now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Sunibus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you been looking for the perfect indoor router with long-range Wi-Fi coverage and faster internet speed connecting all your smart devices? Well, we present to you the QCell Indoor Router, a router that has all you need and much more. For just $4,275, you can get 4G plus internet speed, wide coverage, and connect up to 15 devices. That's not all. The indoor router can be used for both office and home needs. So, enhance your internet experience with our indoor router. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
We are back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. So now let's head to the last segment of this program, and we'll be talking about the National Journalism Awards, which is organized by the Gambia Press Union, annually, which stands the most esteemed to recognize journalistic excellence in the Gambia. And we have Aissatou Keita, chairperson, the organizing committee, and of course Aliou Cissé, awards committee member. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to this program. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much. I think it's good to be back here in QTV. It's appearing more like a home to me now.
Oh yes, I mean, exactly. So it's important for us to discuss the awards, and we understand most people participate, especially people from different media houses. I won't stress us to go through, okay, what are the what is the award about? I mean, what are some of the things? But let's talk about the eligibility criteria of this award.
Yes, so maybe before going to the aspect of the eligibility criteria, which is of course important, but then it's also good to actually take people a bit back to actually tell you why we actually come up with this award. Like you made mention, this is the flagship program of the Gambia Press Union. This was actually done to celebrate and commemorate World Press Freedom Day. Because we look at year round, we do work on a daily basis. So there is one particular day that we could actually set aside to recognize the work that journalists do on a daily basis. You understand the fact that the work that we do, I would say is quite daunting, but it's duty bound. What happens to a world where there is no information that people consume? You look at the present day that we are in. People can't live without information. We can do away without food, but we can't do away without information. So as a result of that, we have every year that we actually observe and commemorate World Press Freedom Day. So this was the particular day that was set aside for us to also, GPU has taken to also reward and recognize the efforts that journalists do on a daily basis. That was actually one of the basic necessities to actually understand as to why we came up with these awards. So the eligibility criteria of these awards is that every person, individual journalist, in as much as you reside and live in the Gambia, you are eligible to actually file in the nominations. But how do we do this is you actually look as a journalist or an individual working as a media person. You've seen the work that you've done, not the work in 2014, but in 2024, but the work in 2023, from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. It is during this period that our reports are actually allowed to be submitted. So this could be any report from the various categories that we have that you can actually file in your stories in. So you are eligible. And we also have Gambian journalists that also work for international media. They are also eligible to actually file, because being the fact that they don't only, in as much as they actually report for international media, the stories that they put out there are Gambian stories. So that makes those individuals.
Is this the first time including Gambian journalists reporting for international
No, we've
media?
actually had, because there was a particular year that we had Sankule Janko that actually won it when he was actually reporting for, and still works for WADR, that is West Africa Democracy Radio. It has been there, but people have not been filing as much, or maybe the understanding of it has not been there as it is supposed to. But it has actually been there. Yes.
So in terms of the number of categories, what are some of these categories? Are we seeing new categories this year?
Actually, aside from the initial categories we had, the only addition to it is tax reporting. category, because there have been a whole lot of talks about, and then they are quite right, understanding the fact that the Gambia is a tax-based economy, and there have been so many issues that surround tax on a daily basis and all that. We saw it important that we could actually include that aspect, which we will actually attract people more, not only to have the category, but that will also force people more to be able to report on this category. So in essence, why we actually do these categories, not for us just to come up with these categories and then just have people win on for those categories. We also encourage people to report more on those issues. We have a range of issues that we could report on, but this is also another way for us to actually encourage and ensure that journalists also report on these issues.
Okay, Ali,
aside from that, I mean, we have some of the categories that we have also decoupled this time around. I mean, in our previous awards, like I should mention, this award started in 2016. I mean, we used to have, I mean, the tourism award category, culture category, entertainment. But now we have we have decided to join all these three under one category. Now you're going to have the tourism, culture, and entertainment, and also migration and human trafficking. We have also decoupled it now. You're going to have migration reporting and separately, and human trafficking category separately. And then the good thing about this is that, I mean, we as organizing committee members, we cannot submit, we cannot participate in this. Because, exactly, yes. So if you're a committee member, then that really, disqualifies you from, I mean, submitting to win any category. But so far so good. I mean, we still maintain most of the categories. The sports reporting is maintained, environment, investigative, health and medical reporting, women's reporting, children's reporting, of course agriculture, political reporting, human rights, legal affairs. Photojournalism is coming in this time around. Like she said, I mean, tax reporting is coming in new. Of course, I mean, we also have security reporting as well. But there are also other awards, of course, the GPU special awards that we give to people who have been advancing the cause of
Let's talk about the impact. I mean, how is this award impacting journalism standards in this country?
The impact is quite huge. I think for me, as someone who has actually won the awards previously, it takes a lot. It takes courage for you to submit your work as a journalist for independent judges, I mean, to really look at your work and evaluate and say, yes, this is something that we can endorse. I mean, because one thing we need to understand, as judges, I mean, they look at several issues. I mean, of course, the issue of accuracy, the originality of the story, the creativity of the story, the impact of the story. These are all things that the judges will look at as far as the story is concerned. So it allows us as journalists to really submit our work if we really believe in what we are doing as journalists. And, it is put out there and then the public celebrates you for what you have done. So definitely the impact has been huge, and, more and more journalists are now getting interested in the GPU awards and are submitting their work.
Even adding on to that, to me, it goes beyond, the impact goes beyond just winning. To me, the courage of one to just take your report and submit it alone is everything. I can remember a particular incident in question last year during the awards. One of the participants actually came, but they were like, I actually did not win. I'm like, you submitting alone was one thing. Being shortlisted was another. I said that alone is huge. That says that you've actually worked a whole lot. So not winning should not actually deter you from sending. So always be sending, since you know that this is what the feeling of you knowing that this is my best work alone is everything. So for us, it's more like trying to encourage journalists and ensure that whatever they do, whatever report they write, should be one of their best reports. So that could be something that you will have. Sometimes you have certain journalists that will send up to 5 stories because those were things that we do, that we encourage them. Some will send, first year they will send 1 story, but then the following year say up to 3 stories. That actually is an impact, because now you felt that when you are writing, think, oh, I am writing the story, but I want to submit it to the GPU awards. And our criteria are such that we have never let them down. We actually have never reduced in our criteria in order. So that is why whenever we get judges, we get the best of judges. And those criteria, there was a particular incident in question last year. The Community Radio Reporter of the Year was not awarded. The Travel and Tourism was not awarded, and Photojournalism was not awarded. And you have individuals that submitted. And one was actually saying that, but then I submitted my story for this category. Why didn't I win? I'm like, if your story didn't actually meet the criteria, there is no way, even if you are the only individual, there is no way we are going to shortlist you. Because that doesn't mean where our standard is, we are not going to put it down. Yes. Where the standard is, it's there. If it is 10, it's 10. individual submitting for a particular category would not allow us to actually bring the category down just to suit the person's interest. So whatever standard we have run across all other categories. So if the person doesn't meet the criteria, it's
you know,
omitted.
that's interesting. I mean, if at all there is a particular category and I am the only person that submitted, what are some of the things that you looked at and say, okay, this is qualified to win this category?
Okay, just like
because if there is no challenger, then this means I've taken the lead hands down.
So the criteria is there. Like he said, you have accuracy, we have originality of the story, we look at grammar, we look at style, we also look at creativity of the story and the impact that the story actually has made. You can write a story and the story doesn't have any impact. What's the essence? We look at things that are actually able to make impact. So if let's say each of these criteria is marked out of 5, and then your story is actually all below 5 or it's around over 2. So overall, and you have another story in another category, the last amongst them is marked out of 4 and yours is marked out of 2. There is no way that we are actually going to bring that particular story because it has not actually met the criteria in question.
And the good thing about it is that the panel of judges that independent of the Gambia Press Union. They have no relation with the Gambia Press Union.
I wanted the selection already?
We've already identified people
to
that are going to serve as judges who we are going to unveil, later before the event. But like you said, I mean, submissions are opened until on the 20th of this month. So if you are out there and you're a journalist and you think you have done something that can, that can contest the awards, then why not? You can just visit the gpu.gm and submit your work. I mean, for the judges to look at, because 20th of this month is the deadline.
What type of photojournalists are you looking at?
Okay, interesting. That's a particular thing that I am so much excited about usually.
I know someone behind the back is asking. Alu Gallo must be asking. I know Alu Gallo must be.
So the thing about that particular category in question is very, very interesting because most of the time people fail to understand what we meant by photojournalist. Because we've received question as to somebody will say, but I am the cameraman of this particular story and this person's story actually won. I should automatically I should win. But that's not the case. When we talk about photos, we are talking about photos that will actually be able to tell stories. Do you understand? Imagine taking a photo and without even saying anything. And you look at it and you know that this actually means something. Those are the type of photos that we are talking about. When you take videos, even without saying anything, we look at those whether they will actually it's a story, it's telling something. But those pictures also, we are not talking about just the pictures alone. We look at how quality the pictures are, how clear they are. We look at the angles, the picture angles, the picture qualities and everything, the transitions. If it is a video, the transitions and creativity that is actually embedded in those pictures and videos. That is what we are looking at. You can't just submit any picture and all that.
How many pictures can you submit?
It depends on you and how many pictures that you want to really want to submit. Yes.
So these pictures also, it's like the news stories. It can be about different things, different categories, sports, it can be about health, it can be about anything.
Varies. Let it just be a video or a picture that will be able to tell a story. That we look at, it's like the same, the originality of the photo, how creative the person was in shooting these pictures. Imagine sitting and be like, wow, this is good. Even without the person saying anything for those pictures or videos. You look at it and you said, wow, this is actually perfect. Yes.
Let's talk about
the level of preparation at the committee level.
Yes, I mean,
are there any sponsors yet?
Yes, I mean, this is all part of our the organizing committee's efforts to make the public get to know about the awards.
Public engagement.
Exactly. Because, I mean, as we speak, I mean, we're scheduled 7th of December to organize the award, and we have sent out letters to our institutions and individuals who we think, I mean, can come on board to support, I mean, this initiative. I mean, so basically that's what's happening right now, and we are getting, positive feedbacks from institutions and individuals who are willing to come on board and support the awards.
Okay, I hope you are reaching out to sponsors.
Yes, we've reached out to
we've even written to the chairman of the Q Group, Mohammed Jah, so I know, he will receive the letter in person. He's watching, so we have sent a letter to your office. So
he's actually, this I will say, it's not like Mangewayan or anything,
wow.
But it's a remarkable, he actually did something very remarkable last year. We came at the last minute and then he was able to support, and that support actually went a long way in helping us do most of the things that we do. So we actually are very much grateful for what you have actually done for us, and we're looking forward to something like this. And that was one thing that we've also so we are also looking for something that we've actually been trying that to get media houses that actually introduce the aspect of tables, because the award is actually for journalists. But then when you understand this, the GPU Awards Committee is independent of the Gambia Press Union itself. So, and understanding the fact that the Gambia Press Union is a donor-funded organization, whatever activities and programs that we have, it's actually funded by donors. So there is no particular budget that we have for the awards. So the awards actually starts from scratch to raise funds for the awards. And you understand the fact of how awards are. The crystals, the food, the venue, and everything. It's very, very expensive. So all of these cost quite a lot of money. So it was just last year that we were usually, for the past 7 years, 6-7 years of the awards, whatever they have, in as much as they gather funds, they still go back to the coffers of the GPU. But last year was the first time that the award committee was able to raise funds independent of the GPU, not even a dollar to take it from the GPU coffers.
All right,
so
thank you very much. Time
actually.
is already up. Thank you for coming, Aliou Ceesay and Aissatou Keita. And you know, we're looking forward to engage you again on this program.
Yes, because I have a very big question for these people.
Quickly.
But the next one, I just hope they'll be able to answer.
Yeah, sure.
What happens to the last awardees who were promised that they will be going to a particular country?
Pakistan. Is it Pakistan?
Yes.
Thank you. So what happened was, when that offer came in, it came at the last minute. So we were so excited. Imagine being offered a package of your journalists to go to Pakistan. We wanted it. But what later happened was, after that was announced, journalists themselves independently went to do digging. So when they digged and realized certain things, and we also understood the security situation in Pakistan, we wouldn't want to put
thank you. We'll do that again. The bumper is already up.
That was why we did
and thank you, Julde, Aissatou Keita, Aliou Ceesay. I'll also be sending my thing for photojournalists. Yeah, so until we come here again tomorrow, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.